That's always a fun one. Right. I did, however, just want to talk a little bit about the letter to the Hebrews this morning and how it sort of aligns with one of the sentences in our Eucharistic prayer, particularly Rite 1, the traditional service. There is a line in prayer 2 that stops me dead in my tracks whenever I say it. It reads, "And we earnestly desire thy fatherly goodness to accept this our sacrifice of praise and thanksgiving, whereby we offer and present unto thee, O Lord, ourselves, our souls and bodies." That's a hallowed moment. The one where we together, before the Lord, each of us offers ourselves to him in love. In the moment that follows that phrase, faces and events of the past week are so present to me sometimes that I forget where I am in the prayer. And thankfully, someone has drawn a big arrow in pencil, and it says, "You are here," so I can easily find my place again. And even then, there are sometimes words that I recall. Words that might as well be part of the prayer. And maybe, now that I think about it, actually are. When I'm kind of in that space, I sort of flash back to the middle of the week. It's a starting point, and that's because the Wednesday-Thursday turn here at St. Luke's is a pretty tight one. Wednesday evening is, for me, an extraordinary source of light and love. The evening is packed with the energy of young people, right? It's packed with seekers and cynics. But it also captures the wonder in the eyes of our youth. Wednesday is the night every week here when you can still see enchantment. Sleep usually comes really easily for me after that because we are always on the go. I think the youth of this parish could tell you about every nook and cranny in this place, and I love that. They also know where the best hiding spots are, so beware. Thursday awakens early, before dawn, to a hunger that desires only egg casserole. Yeah, Jim knows what I'm talking about. And only egg casserole will suffice for some of the men of the parish. That is, unless Lauren brings a breakfast pizza from Quick Trip, and then all bets are off. What I love about Thursday morning is that prayer rings out in this sort of deep timbre of experience, right? These are men that have lived lives. Where the enchantment of youth has been shaped by the passing of years into a wisdom that still knows how to smile. And these encounters, these great ones, that turn, they set the stage for Eucharist on Thursday afternoon. The same one where you'll see in the flesh, my friends, you'll see in the flesh the souls and bodies that have held us, the world, our memory, and the most hallowed of our prayers for almost a century. It's the place where I get to go see Sally and Gretchen. I get to go see Rita and Betty and Jean. It's also the place where I know that time is short. And so I savor every moment with them in thanksgiving. And as much as I'm up here talking about how like these moments are mine, they are in fact yours. They are yours. Open to you always. And more, I think we are all waking up to the fact that the time we have together is blessed while it lasts. So don't miss it. Okay? After Mass on Thursday afternoon, I was packing up the kit, a little box with bread and wine and all the accoutrements that you need to celebrate Eucharist somewhere. And with one hand on her walker and another one in the air, Sally waved to me as she left. And not only did she wave, but she winked. And I knew what that meant. I had seen her enough. It meant that today was different. It was good. It was full. And it hadn't been that way in a while. And the reason why it was full is because it was full of the people that she loved. And when I go to green country, there's 5 of them, right? Little bitties, 5 of them. But that day there was 10. And there was 10 because 5 of you all came to celebrate Eucharist with them. As Sally left the chapel, a dear friend of mine came up to me and said, "Nick, do you know what she said to us today?" And I didn't. She said to us, "It's nice not to be forgotten." And she's right. Someone once said there are 2 ways of remembering. One is to make an excursion from the living present, where we are right now, into the past. And as the faithful, we know this all too well. Remembering youth groups gone by and old church bazaars. And we look with this sort of faraway look in our eye and recall the richness of yesteryear. The other way, my friends, is to summon the past back to the present, to the living present. It's there that the widow remembers their lover. And miraculously, they're beside them. It's in that moment where Sally remembers her church, and there they are beside her. When Jesus says, "Do this in remembrance of me," he's not suggesting a nostalgic trip back to the 2nd century. But teaching us to summon a power within us that resurrects our most cherished memories, our most precious desires, and in an instant makes them palpably present to us once again. The world is too dangerous and too beautiful for us to forget that such a power lives in us. That law of love has been written on our hearts, my beloved, so let it rule your minds as well. For nothing remains in this world that bars us from full communion with God or each other, if we have the courage to believe it to be so. And so, on a day when we consecrate our life and labor unto the Lord, when we pledge ourselves in faith, when we offer the first fruits of our earnings and do so knowing that the ministry we practice here at St. Luke's is first of all being led by love, may we not forget who and whose we are. I want you to have confidence in the year before you. I want you to trust in the Lord, my friends, and lean not on your own understanding. I want you to freely give as you have been freely given. And I want us, as the author of the Hebrews says, to hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering. For he who has promised is faithful. And I want us all to consider how to provoke one another in love and in good deeds. I want us to continue to do that, to go deeper with each other and with our relationships in the community. And I don't want us to neglect to meet with one another anymore. I want us to gather. I want us to eat together. I want us to share our lives with one another. And I want us to encourage one another all the more when there's folks in our congregation who see the day approaching. Time is short, and we do not have enough time to gladden the hearts of those who walk this way with us. So be swift to love, my friends, and make haste to be kind.